On live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Life is one of the heaviest beams one can try to support. It is known to go through storms that contain heavy winds and downpours. But you are built to stand and not collapse. I challenge you to grow out of your comfort zone. The biggest giant you will ever face in life is your mindset. One of the biggest things that limit us and keep us defeated is the opinion we have of ourselves. When I changed my mind, it changed my life. I didn't just survive, I bounced back better. Bounce 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 back better.
You're now listening to Life Structure with Eric.
Hello and welcome to the Life Structure with Eric podcast. Today we have the newly acclaimed author Michelle Love with us. Michelle was in an awful vehicle accident a few years ago. She was traveling back to Phoenix from their family reunion in Albuquerque. They were about 45 minutes from the city, descending down the mountain when the truck she was riding in flipped over a guardrail and continued to flip and plunged down the mountain. You know, we see on the news from time to time a tragic car accident, and you see the damage to the vehicle, and you say, it's no way they made it out of alive. But there are some instances when God has his angels surround you and protect you from a near-death experience. And that is Michelle's story. You know, God definitely protected her and showed her and her family favor in this accident where they were able to bounce back and reclaim, their lives. So yeah, today we have on the show Miss Regina Love, Michelle Love. I always call her Regina, but Miss Michelle Love. Welcome to the show, Michelle.
Hi, Eric.
Yeah. So thank you for being on the show today. How are you feeling?
Good. Doing good and blessed. Highly favored and blessed.
That's good. That's good. So we're going to jump right in. You just released a book and you titled it And You Think He Doesn't Exist.
Yes.
Why did you choose this title?
I'm glad you asked that because that title wasn't easy for me to come up with. Actually, while in my hospital bed, I would sit and write notes on the book because I knew I was going to write this book, but I didn't have a title. So I would even have people asking me, well, what are you going to name? What's going to be the name of your book? And I would be like, I don't know. It's got to be something good, something pertaining to my testimony, I'm sorry. And then, so I was asleep in my hospital bed and it was about, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was awakened and I looked at the TV and right across my TV, it flashed, and you think he doesn't exist. And then it went past again, and then it just went off. And it wasn't that there was a show or anything that I was watching. That was the flash. And then it went away and it was into a commercial. And I said, that's it. That's it,
Wow.
God. And You Think It Doesn't Exist will be my title of my book. So that's how that came about.
Wow. Nice.
Pondering on it for so long,
Well, I love that title. And, yeah, so many of us, we have some stories that we know it was only him that brought us through it. So, headed to Albuquerque for a 3-day family reunion. Share with us what you were feeling.
I was anxious and excited because I couldn't wait to take that 3-day vacation, along with my family and Tommy. So I was excited. Nobody else was as excited as myself, but I was excited, anxious to get there, just happy and ready for
Yeah.
my vacation.
Right. And that's because one thing about the family reunions, you're excited, you're seeing people you haven't seen in forever.
Yeah.
You're going to have a good time. You're not going, to funeralize nobody. You're just going to have a good time. And there's always those cousins that you've been like, where have you been all these years? You meet new cousins, and then of course the food. So very excited, but you're on the way to Albuquerque. You ran into some obstacles on the way to the family reunion, but in the midst of the truck breaking down, you still was not selfish. You gave food to the homeless and ministered to them in song. Tell us about that experience.
Well, when the truck broke down, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I was livid. I was not happy at all because I'm like, I'm trying to get there. We had already missed a day. So when it broke down, okay, I'm upset. The kids, my daughter is in her car. Her and the two daughters were in their car, and then it was Tommy and the grandchildren and I in our truck. So it broke down, and we finally got it towed to a mechanic that wasn't on duty. He was coming in, but it was going to take a few hours. So now I'm really mad. And we parked my daughter's car in this deserted like parking lot. And as I'm watching the grandchildren play out there, my other daughter, they were doing each other's hair. You'll read about that in the book. But there were some Native American Indians that just walked by. You can tell that they were transients. There were two females and one male, and they came and they said, "Do you guys have any food?" And I said, "Sure, we have some food." So I went to the car and got some of our snacks out of there, and I gave them the food. And then I sat down and I asked them, I said, "Do you guys know God? You know God? Do you pray?" Because just looking at them and how they were looking, and my heart just went out to them. And so, and you never know someone's story. So you don't know why they were out there or whatever. So I
Right.
just asked them, do you know God? Do you pray? And they said, "Oh yeah, we know God." And I said, "Okay." And we just started conversating. And all of a sudden I started singing. And everybody knows I love singing. I love karaoke, all of that. So I began singing. I was singing, I think I first started out with Amazing Grace. So I'm singing Amazing Grace, and these Native Indians joined me in singing. They were joining me in singing. And I would occasionally look at my daughter, because anybody knows Keisha knows that she's moody, she's got a beautiful heart, but she's just not that people friendly. She doesn't care about people. So she's looking at me with this glare like, "Oh, Mom, I can't believe you're over there, talking to these people and singing. Why are you singing with these people?" But again, we never know someone's story. I thought it was a beautiful thing. We had a good time worshiping the Lord. I mean, I didn't just sing one song. I think we sang about 2 or 3 songs. So it was
Uh-huh.
just a beautiful thing to me while, waiting for the truck to get fixed. So it was beautiful. It was awesome.
Good deal. Good deal. Okay. So you finally make it to the family reunion, and
Yes.
you see family that you haven't seen in years. You meet new relatives. You get the chance to eat, dance, attend services at your childhood church. Now it's time to head back to Phoenix. Walk us through what will happen next on your road trip back to Phoenix that would change your life forever.
Okay. I'm gonna try to do this without crying, because to relive this, some parts of it upsets me still to this day. But on our way back, we usually go through Flagstaff, Arizona, coming back to Phoenix. This particular time, my brother told Tommy it's quicker if you go through Payson. And that would be Payson, Arizona, which is, I don't know, about 45 minutes out away from Phoenix. And it was on Highway 87. And we're traveling along the highways. My God, it was beautiful. I was just admiring all the trees and the mountains. And then when you just look down the valley, how deep it was and how high it was and how all of that got there. And we're just admiring, the beauty of it all. And I began to tell Tommy, I'm like, oh my God is just so amazing. Look at all of this that he's created, And so we stopped. We got low on gas, so we stopped, filled the truck up with gas, and then we got all strapped in and we proceeded to go on our way. And if I could remember correctly, it was about maybe just 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes after filling the truck with gas, I hear this loud pop. And I looked at Tommy, he looked at me, and to me, it appeared that the truck was going sideways now. And then I recall just flipping, nonstop flipping. I was like, okay, when is this going to stop? Because I could tell, I was flipping. The truck ended up landing upright. And there was a gentleman that came to my side of the car. I was on the passenger side. And there was a gentleman that came and he said, how can I help you? And I said, save my grandchildren. I don't recall seeing this gentleman. I could just hear him. For some reason, I couldn't see him, but I could hear him. And I could also hear my grandchildren yelling that one of their brothers wasn't in the car any longer, that they saw him fly out the window. So I looked to my left. I couldn't move. I was just like stuck there. I couldn't move, and I didn't know why, but I could look and I could see that Tommy was climbing out of the window, and you could just see pain on his face to go try to find my grandchild that had been ejected out of the truck. So by this time, I see, this just blows my mind. It blows my mind. It's just unfathomable. You just won't believe what I saw. So I see a gentleman or man come back. I can see that he's holding my granddaughter. He's got my granddaughter. She's holding him for dear life. I mean, she's just wrapped around him so tight, so tight. And this man, I don't see a face, but it was like big, broad shoulders and a bunch of white hair. I mean, the hair was so white, I had to sit back and I'm like, dang, your hair is white. It was almost like light. It was so white. And so I acknowledged to him, because I don't know why I couldn't talk, but I acknowledged to him that, thank you for getting my granddaughter. And then I hear my grandson that was in the back. He was actually pinned in the truck, with me. And I hear him saying, they call me Mimi.
Take your time.
I hear him saying, Mimi, why won't you save me? He said, you saved everybody. Everybody's getting saved and not me. Why won't you save me?
Wow.
And Eric, I tell you, it took all of my power. I was trying so hard to let him know Mimi will save you, baby. Mimi's gonna save you, but I couldn't say anything. Nothing would come out of my mouth. I couldn't move. I was just stuck there and I'm like, ugh, and I'm saying, God, help me to let him know that I will save him too, that he's not
Right.
alone, pinned
Right.
back there in the truck. So I hear a nurse. I really can't see her, but I hear her and she says, "Don't worry, I'll save you." She said, "I'll climb in here and I'll sit back with you until help comes." Now, mind you, I understand there were a lot of people behind us that God had sent there to help us. There was a doctor,
Mm-hmm.
a nurse, two EMTs, and a fireman. They
Okay.
were all there to help us. Okay.
Let me jump in right here because I know you need a chance to breathe. So
Okay.
everybody that's watching and listening, what she just said about the doctor, the nurse, the EMTs, the firemen, the 911 dispatchers haven't arrived yet.
Right.
These are just people that was behind them, traveling behind them when they flipped over. The
Correct.
EMT 911 haven't even arrived yet. This is just,
Right.
just a portion of the book, and you think he doesn't exist. How do you have a doctor, a nurse, two EMTs, and a fireman that's traveling right behind you that's
Yeah.
able to come to your rescue?
Yes.
I just wanted to throw that in. You can take back
Right.
over.
No, that's perfectly fine. I understand that the doctor actually had neck braces in his car. I mean, come on, who travels with neck braces in your car? And this one is gonna just knock you off your feet. An IV. So the doctor put a neck brace on my neck, my grandson's neck, and they had started IV. We got pictures to prove it. They started IVs on me. Um, they had all of our vitals, our names, everybody's date of birth, names, and all of our vitals already written out and waiting for the help to come. These people, there was a lady named Michelle. I remember her telling me her name was Michelle and that she was going to stay there to help pray with me until help came. I mean, the whole thing just blows my mind, Eric. I could keep going on and on, but then
Right,
I'll be telling the story of my book. So
right, right.
we'll quit right
Definitely,
there.
definitely. Yeah, we'll quit right there. But yeah. So like you said, your grandson was ejected and landed on a rock. Your granddaughter was injured. Tommy is trying to assist the grandkids uh, with the broken back.
Yes,
He was in pain, but didn't know till later he had a broken back.
that's correct.
While your other grandson was, trapped inside the truck, alongside with you,
Right.
and you're going in and out of consciousness. But eventually, you guys made it to the hospital.
Right.
I don't want to tell the entire book because then people won't
Yeah.
want to purchase it.
Right.
But it's just amazing. Just give us a small breakdown of what your injuries were.
Just my injuries. I suffered a broken neck, a broken back, several ribs. I lost use of my left arm and hand, and just other bruises, cuts and bruises. I had glass that was enlarged in my neck and my face. Um, and so those were the injuries that I suffered um, uh, with the car accident.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. But one of the things, but I just love the name of the device that they had to put on you, due to
Oh,
your
okay. I
neck
didn't know
and
you
back,
wanted me to
you
go
know.
that
Yeah.
depth
Well,
into it.
yeah, I was going to add it in, the halo.
Yeah.
I've seen those, but I didn't know that they were called a halo.
Yes.
And
Halo.
yeah, in your book you kind of describe, how you had that heavy thing on and you was trying to practice to hold your head up right. And
Man, I tell
yeah.
you, when I came to, because I was in a coma, I don't know how long I was in a coma, but when I did come to, I got this big apparatus on my head, and I'm like, what is this? And how am I supposed to walk and get around with this big thing called a halo on my head? So, yeah, you're right. That halo is what it's called. So I did have to wear that for 3 months.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh but one of the things that you talked about, even though you had to wear the halo, you were walking with the walker, and you hated walking with the walker. And you said, I'm not, and your mom was very adamant about making sure, that you were being safe. She wanted you to walk with the walker. You were sleeping on, you said your living room transformed into your bedroom because you couldn't go up the steps, but
That's
you were determined to not be dependable on the walker. You
that's
were
correct.
determined to make it up the steps. And one of the portions that got me was when you went to the doctor and he told you that he was sorry, but you would no longer be able to work anymore.
Correct.
And you talked about how you sit there and cried, and you was like, no, but I have to work. And I spoke with you earlier about this. I said there's so many people, they would have loved the moment that the doctor told them, well, you can't work anymore, because they would have heard disability check, well, I can stay home and get disability, but no, that wasn't you. You were like, no, I need to work. So tell us what you did at that moment.
Um, mm, I I had, first of all, let me just say, can I back up just a little bit?
Sure,
I
sure.
was told that I was supposed to go to a rehab, and I believe it was for a total of 6 months. My family that I have, I tell you what, first of all, my mother, I know everybody out there has a praying mother. My
Mm-hmm.
mother was focused on nothing but me, those machines that I was hooked up to, and God.
Uh-huh.
My father, like I said earlier, I didn't have use of my left arm and hand. He would come in every single day and make me hold up my hand. He'd say, "You better hold it there and you better not let it drop." And I couldn't do it. And I mean, I would be in tears trying to hold it up. And he said, "Put it up." And he's screaming, pull it up. So when the doctors and nurses saw my family, they were like, okay, we don't have to send her to a rehab. Her family is enough rehabilitation for her. She's got enough family support that's going to help her get through this. So they let me come home rather than going inside of a rehab. And
Uh-huh.
so now they're there with me daily, every single day. And they took shifts as to who's coming and who's going, and to make sure my medication that I'm is taken at the correct time, and that I'm um able to try to wash myself and all. So now I go to this disability doctor who tells me, you'll never be able to work, after examining me and having me do a bunch of he had a bunch of exercises for me to do, and then he determined that you will never be able to work. I was devastated, Eric. I was devastated. So when I left there, I was crying all the way to the car. And I got home and I said, no, I have too much family, too many friends, too much love and support out there. And so with that love, that helped me to say, you know what, I can do this and I'm going to do this. So I did. I worked out little by little, but I did. I took myself off of that walker. I would walk back and forth to the mailbox because that was my little exercise that I could do, is just go to the mailbox, back up, back home daily, until I got strong enough to be able to return to work, what he said I would not do, and I did.
Wow. Okay. So another thing is what you didn't know at the time, the guy that you described with the snowy white hair, you
Yeah.
later found out that the two of you work for the same company.
Yes. Apparently, he had got in contact with our station manager there at work at Southwest, and the station manager got in contact with my sister. So she kind of mentioned his name to me, but she wasn't sure. And so I would receive a bunch of cards from coworkers and family and friends. And this particular card that came in the mail, I recognized the name. When I saw that name, I immediately wrote him back and I asked him to give me a call. I gave him my phone number and asked Mike to give me a call. He did. And we decided we would get together and meet without telling everything in the book. We decided we'd get together and meet. And that was not let me back up. The first question I asked him was, are you the one that took my granddaughter out of the car? And he said, yes. And I said, okay. And I said, do you have a bunch of white curly hair? And he said, no. He started laughing. He said, I have gray hair, and you'll have to read the book to find out what happened with him and about him. You'll have to read because I don't want to spoil it.
Right. Yeah. Quick question. One of our viewers, Alicia Flores, wants to know what year and month you're at.
That was August 9th of 2016.
Okay. August 9th of 2016.
Hi, Alicia.
Okay. So just speeding up a little bit, was one of the things I wanted to throw in. Because I met, the two of us, we met at work, and it was I remember when I started, you had just came back. You hadn't been back too long. But we met and you quickly became my work sister, and just, you're always so cheerful, and you are just a huge heart. You would give anybody anything that you have to give. And you had crazy outpouring support from family, coworkers, knowing you had so many people that supported and love you, that this gives you even more reason for you to fight.
Oh yeah. Like you said, the word love and the determination. I didn't want to sit back and not try to help myself. I didn't want to have to depend on others to take care of me. So that's why, I fought so hard. And I know, in God's word, he says that he would never leave us nor forsake us. And so I knew, I'm like, okay, you're with me, God, as I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to do this exercise. I'm going to do this. I got to get back to work. I have too many friends, family, depending on me to know that, yes, I can get back to work. And so, yeah, the love and the determination from all my friends and family, coworkers, all of that helped me to move forward.
Yeah. Okay. So, we mentioned it earlier, when the truck broke down on the way to the reunion, you gave food to the homeless. You sang spiritual songs to them. You prayed while driving. Even one portion, I was like, man, I don't think I would have been, I, but we all know you have a big heart. But when the truck broke down, it was someone that one of your cousins, you said, they volunteered to come get you.
Yeah.
And you with the big heart that you have, you was like, no, why should I pull you away from enjoying the festivities to come all the way, drive that long way, to get us. You chose to go to church on that Sunday instead of go to the park with the rest of the family. Many would say, why me, God? But you pointed out that it was only God that would place a doctor, a nurse, and a paramedic on the highway not too far behind you, not all in the same vehicle, but at a distance right behind you. So I totally agree, with your title. And you think he doesn't exist. I
Yes.
mean, it's amazing story, amazing comeback, and I just love it. And before we close, what would you like to leave with the Life Structure family tonight?
You know what? I like to tell everybody that's out there listening to this that don't take anything for granted. Um, the next minute is not even promised to you. You hear you say not tomorrow, but that next minute is not even promised to you. So don't take anything for granted. Just keep your trust in God. And I know there's a lot of people out there, you have your own beliefs in whatever you believe in. But I tell you who I called, and that was on the name of Jesus, who saved
Mm-hmm.
me, not only me, but Tommy and all three of my grandchildren. All three of us survived a horrific accident. And I hear about almost the same type of accident that happened to other people, and they don't survive. So I just want to tell you, just don't take anything for granted. Your next minute is not promised to you.
And I love how you summed that up, because that was kind of sort of my post for today. You know, it pretty much said, God has blessed you with a day that you've never seen and you will never see again.
Ah,
So what makes you think that you're not good enough? Don't let
oh,
anyone devalue, your God, the purpose that God has bestowed upon you. Because like you said, the next minute isn't even, we see all the time, people are in their home and a freaking uh private plane go into
yeah,
somebody's home,
yeah,
crash. You
yeah.
know, the pilot makes it out, but the person in the home dies.
Yes,
I mean, it's just like you're not even safe in your home these days.
yeah,
So yeah, I totally agree with you know, enjoy your life to the fullest,
yeah,
because tomorrow isn't promised. Tomorrow
right,
isn't promised. So
right.
tell us, for and you think he doesn't exist. If someone wants to purchase it, how could we go about doing that?
Oh yeah, right now it's on Amazon, and it's also being sold at Barnes and Noble. So you can purchase your book at Amazon online or go to a Barnes and Noble store, and you can get that as well. I'm also going to be doing book signings. You'll hear about that soon uh, to come out. So if you can't order a book or whatever, I'll keep Eric updated as to when I'll be doing my book signing for my book, and maybe you can meet me there.
Awesome, awesome. And before we go, we have a little surprise here. Because as she stated, she was not in the truck alone. She had her three grandkids, and we just want to bring them on and let them be a part of this, so you can see them as well, because God bless them all, through this ordeal. So we want to bring them on. And would you guys like to say hi?
Hi.
That is all three of them 5 years ago that was in that accident. As you can tell, you can look at them. They're doing great. They have their good days and bad days as well as I. But there they are, right there.
Yeah.
All of them survived.
Okay. So which one was the one that screamed out, "Grandma, why won't you save me?"
Jamari, wait, raise your hand. Say hello. That's him there.
Okay.
Handsome young man.
Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome.
And then
Okay. Well,
you see, the other one is the one that was ejected. That's
right
JV.
to the left, all the way to my left.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And then there's Miss
Wow.
JV.
Well, I want all three of you to know that all three of you have great purpose on your life because, just like God spared grandma, he spared the three of you guys, and you guys have greatness on your life. So make sure you make the best out of it. You know, make the best out of school, but you don't have to wait until you graduate. There are so many young kids today that's they're transforming their lives into young entrepreneurs. And she's told me some of the stuff that you guys, love to do. So I just want to encourage you not to quit, and don't ever get discouraged if you're trying to do something and you feel like you aren't being noticed, or it's not getting to the point where you want it to be quick enough, because just like life, everything that we try to put our hands on, it's a process. So you guys push through the process, keep being great,
Yes.
and don't let anyone steal your shine, because the moment that God spared you guys life is the moment that he said, you guys have purpose, you guys have favor, and you're going to do great things in life. So I'm going to be on the sideline waiting to see you guys create some great stuff, and I know she's going to be
Oh,
happy.
yeah.
She loves to brag on you guys anyway, so she'll be bragging, telling me about it. So, and I'm going to be like, you remember when I told them that? So
Yeah.
all right, guys. Well, thank you three for coming on. I'm going to take you out now, but thank you guys for coming on, okay?
Thank you.
All
All right.
righty.
All
All
right.
right, Life Structure fam, is it anyone that have any more questions before we close out? Everyone was saying that your grandbabies are so precious.
Oh, thank you.
Linda Hill said, I'm waiting on my copy to come. Can't wait to read it, Michelle.
Oh, yay. Amen. Thank you
And
for supporting me.
Raymond Collins says, just waiting to get my copy signed.
It's coming, bruh.
Sandra Covington said, yes, signed copy. Sandra is one of my best viewers. She's on almost every week. I love Sandra.
Yeah, I love Sandra too. It's
Uh,
coming. I'll sign anybody's book.
Patricia Utsi says, God was with you all the time. He sent angels. Julie Martin, she's another one of my work sisters, one of my big sisters. You and her would just hit it off right out the dime. You two remind me so much of each other. But she said, thank you, God, for your faithfulness. My wifey said, the babies are cute. Miss Shannon Mean says, I love my book.
Yes.
Raymond once again said, I'm coming to you to get it signed with you and your husband.
All right. Sounds good. That's my high school friend from high school.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And Melvin Ramsey, he said, hi, this is Uncle Melvin Ramsey.
Oh, yes. Hi. Wow. Wow. Uncle Melvin from North Carolina. Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. What part of North Carolina?
I know I was in some little country. I don't know. He'll have to tell you, but did he say anything? I don't know. Outside of Raleigh somewhere.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. My brother-in-law, he's watching from Greensboro.
Hi, brother-in-law.
He said, sorry, I missed part of the podcast, which time done changed now, so you shouldn't be in the bed. You should be catching it. But anyway, I'll get you later. Linda Hill said, I haven't heard of your platform until tonight. I will be tuning in. Please do, Miss Linda. We go live every Monday. I'm also on Spotify and Apple platform as well. But you can go on YouTube and view some of our past episodes. But basically, it's called Life Structure because we're all about, giving the tools to help people that's, had some type of uh, ordeal in their life whether it was a stronghold or they went through a divorce or accident like Michelle, whatever it is. Sometimes we go through ordeals and we lose our way, and we just need someone to offer tools to help us in the rebuilding stage. So that's what it's all about. So yeah, definitely tune in, Miss Hill. So glad that you were able to come on tonight.
Thank you, Linda.
Yeah, Miss Sherry May, she's a very good friend of mine. I actually just gave her the name the past few days. She doesn't know it yet, so this is gonna be her first time hearing it. But she's like my spiritual auntie. So she said, let her know when you'll be signing books. She would love to meet you. She's here in Phoenix.
Okay, good, very good. Okay, I'm gonna let Eric know so he can let you.
I would definitely let you know. And Patricia Utsey said, and you can wear heels.
Oh, everybody knows I love my heels. So yes, I am back in heels. I can still wear heels. So yes.
Yeah. Tracy Harrell from Arizona.
Tracy Harris?
It says Harrell.
Huh. Well, hi, Tracy.
Oh, okay. Your uncle, he's from Roanoke Rapids. Wow, you're very close to my mom, Mr. Ramsey. My mom lives in Emporia, Virginia. So you're very close to her. Yeah, I know exactly where your uncle lives, in Roanoke Rapids.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Life Structure family, for tuning in tonight. Once again, even though this live broadcast is out, be sure to share it. You can share the YouTube link, with family and friends. If you're watching via Facebook, you can share the link so we can help tell Michelle's story and help push people over to Amazon and Barnes and Noble to purchase her book.
Yes.
If any Southwest family is watching tonight, and you haven't gotten the book, definitely go and get it.
Get the book, you guys. Get the book.
All right, guys. Well, I love you guys for being a part of the Life Structure podcast tonight. Thank you for lending a few minutes of your Monday evenings. I know Monday is one of the most stressful days of the week. So I definitely thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to tune in next Monday, for another great podcast.
All right.
With that being said, you guys have a great night.
All right. Love you, Eric. Thank you.